Keep talking.
Okay, we're ready.
Good morning,
Good
online.
morning.
Good morning in person. Say something. Say something.
Say something. I don't know. Who has already not accomplished their New Year's resolution? Okay, there's still time, so you're good to go there. Me too, but it's okay.
What was your resolution?
Honestly, to go to the gym 3 times a week. I did go this morning, so I'm starting the week off strong.
So Tuesday. So Tuesday's your first day.
But I didn't do last week. Yeah, I don't do Mondays. They're crazy on Monday, and I just feel like I don't need to start my week like
But
that.
every week the gym's going to get lighter and lighter, right?
I hope so. Muscles, yes.
Not from you.
No, maybe. I don't know.
All right, so everybody's job is to keep Lee accountable.
Oh my
All you
gosh,
do is
no.
ask him every week. At least sometime when you see him, hey, have you been to the gym yet this week?
I'll say it was so much fun. It was so
Really
fun.
awesome. He'll love that. Well, that's great. What are some of y'all's New Year's resolutions? Anybody have any they want to share?
Anybody sober January?
Right.
1, 2. Do sober February. It's shorter.
Yeah, I heard that. Somebody was saying that's
Yeah.
the shortest month.
That's good.
Good. All right, y'all take 60 seconds. Turn to the person next to you. Tell them something you're grateful for.
I know. I was worried for a second. We'll get back to that.
Go Winnie the Pooh here.
I love it.
Teddy. Bring it on back.
Get my text.
Is that a video? Is that a teed up or just?
No, it's that.
Got it. We got some excited people today. All right, y'all, bring it on back.
All right, bring it on back. Anybody whistle? Anybody whistle? Yeah. A lot of gratitudes this morning.
A lot
I
of
love to
gratitude.
see.
What's something y'all have heard that's good? Any good gratitudes?
Anything good you want to share? Oh, now y'all
You
quiet.
don't have to share your own. Share somebody else's.
Now everybody's silent.
What's something
Maggie.
good you heard?
He has a new grandbaby.
David,
Yay!
Barbara Moodnow has a new grandbaby too. Barbara Moodnow has a new grandbaby, newish.
Oh,
That's awesome.
David, what are you called? Pop. Oh. I was going to say something with a martini. Yeah. Papatini, something. We'll think of it. I like it. Okay.
Good. Well, you could be called Pooh.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's always good to like refer to a little children's book for some words of wisdom. And Winnie the Pooh
Yeah.
is pretty wise. So I thought this getting in, it's a little crazy. We got a lot of good vibes, and it says, "Promise me this: you'll always remember that you're braver than you believe, you're stronger than you seem, and you're smarter than you think."
Love it.
That was pretty cool. Good old Winnie the Pooh. So some education. Teddy Pins, you want to talk about education? And y'all, Teddy has a pretty cool tech tip video as well.
Dude, it's hot, so be ready. Be ready with Teddy, as they say.
Oh, I like this.
Snappy.
Ready with Teddy.
Hashtag that. All right, welcome everyone. It's the Fix My Business meeting of the new year, right?
Yeah.
Fix My Business meeting. You know, I get a lot of calls from people and and feedback of this time being a very scary time. And that's not untrue for myself most years, in that all the things that I didn't do and I want to do and I said I was going to do and all the things, right? Anybody ever feel that way? Honesty and vulnerability is awesome. All right, well, for the rest of you that don't have that problem, we do have some classes, and we will be doing a mindset class as well that will be forthcoming. But today we've put in Know Your Contract and all the changes, and our fantastic Lee Fund here is going to be diving into that. Of course, we have Thrive This Week Mentee Skills classes, which I would encourage you to, if you're part of that program, and then our tool training. We've got Real Scout stuff coming up. We've got a host of awesome classes based on your feedback that are forthcoming for this year. So we're really, really excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We ready to cue this up? Okay, I'm going to send this link out because there's a lot of things in here, but
The steps.
this cat's a riot. But if you haven't gotten yourself one of these yet, treat yourself for your AirPod holder on your watch. This is always a nice gift. I get more comments about this than anything. I should just put my barcode here, or my QR code for the new ones. But this is awesome. This is so handy when you're just running around. You want to store your AirPods, and it makes a fantastic, great pop-by gift for people. I think it's
I'm not sure I understand.
me neither. All right, so on your phone, let's grab this real quick. Sorry. Go ahead and open up your phone. You want to play along? Open your contacts. You might see something that says duplicate contacts. If you don't, you probably haven't updated to iOS 16, and I would encourage you to do such. So this is a nice, fancy new way in which to help you dedupe your situation. And then there's many other things. One I'll tell you or show you. Who is not familiar with pinning? Pinning.
Like dropping a pin.
Everybody's familiar with pinning? You're pinning your stuff? Okay, good. You just hate to raise your hands like we were kids? Okay, cool. All right, well, you don't know about pinning. Go ahead and open your text messages.
Oh, okay.
Go to somebody that you love a lot, hold it down, and you can pin, and they will live at the top. So go to a text message that's somebody that you love or contact a lot, your least favorite client, and go ahead and hold down on that person and hit the word pin, and then see what happens and how they live at the top. It's your little picture pages people at the top. That also works in other places as well, such as Safari. All right, here we go. There's a tab, space.
iOS 16 features I add.
All right, we've got an audio.
It's got it.
Does it? All right, hold on.
iOS 16 features I absolutely think you should know. Your iPhone now scans all your contacts and finds duplicate. You can easily merge them with one single tap. Now when you go to the Photos app and select multiple images or videos, you'll get these new icons in the bottom right and this new awesome menu. Also, now when you're in Safari and go to the tabs, you have the possibility to pin one of your tabs to the top. You can now quickly access Spotlight in the middle of your home screen. This is great, for example, for the use of calculations. Siri is now smarter, and you can now ask her to automatically send a message to anyone. And lastly, you have the possibility to convert different types of measurements like speed, weight, and currency. Save this for later and follow me for more iOS 16 crypt.
That's what we got today. Questions? You're very confused? I'll be sending the link to this in the reminder for the contracts class for 10:30. Good?
Love it.
Well,
Thank you, Teddy.
thanks, Teddy. Always good info. All right. Don't forget you can find more information from Village Education on villageeducationonline.com. Lindsay, you want to come talk about our leading RE?
Do you want me to move?
I mean, why don't you move this?
Okay, fine.
This thing. So think of it as a second gym moment.
I love it. Okay, there you go.
All right.
What's up, Lindsay? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
So who are you again?
I am your relocation contact. So if you haven't yet heard of Leading RE, it is a wonderful global network of top-end real estate companies. We're all across the U.S. They're all across just the whole globe. And this is a great way for you to be able to take care of your clients who have a real estate need outside of our Nashville market here. So they could be buying or selling. It could be a lot of people hear outgoing and they assume they're just leaving Nashville, but it could be somebody who's moving here and has a home to sell somewhere else. It could be somebody who has nothing to do with Nashville and they're, downsizing, or they're buying a condo for their kid in college, or any number of reasons they might have a real estate need in another market. And so through this program, I'm able to get you connected with a really great agent who is, all the companies within Leading RE are the top 5 in market share in their respective markets. So, you're getting somebody who's really that top tier, just like you guys are here, really has that expert knowledge, really has a pulse on the market, those kinds of things. And they're all independent companies as well. So there's no like Keller Williams or Coldwell Bankers or anything like that. It's all independent top performers in their markets. And so if you would like to talk to that agent first, you always can. But basically, you could just call or email me and let me know you've got a client who has a need outside of Nashville, and then kind of get things rolling from there. So you can be as involved or as not involved as you'd like. A lot of the time, if it's maybe a close contact or, relative or something like that, or a really VIP client, you might want to talk to that agent first and just make sure that you feel they're a good fit. But if it's somebody who's kind of like a twice removed situation, friend of a friend, and you're not terribly concerned about it, we can also just place that referral, and you don't have to call the agent first, and we could just take care of everything. So throughout the process, I send updates to you that are from that receiving company who's received the referral from us. And then once they contract, close, and once the check is on the way, I'll notify you of all those things too. It's very easy because everybody in the network is expected to adhere to certain practices. So there's never any having to negotiate the referral fee, or somebody saying, well, I'd rather do 25% to 30, even though we talked about 25 or 30 in that text message. So there's no awkward negotiations. They always send the check on time. So there's no hunting down that money at the end of the process. And
It's super easy. I've done it several times. Does anybody, who's done it? Okay, several of y'all. Super easy. It really is. Thank you for making it easy.
my pleasure.
I stopped sending referrals years ago because I did it early in my career, and then it was just complicated, and I felt like I was spending more time,
Yeah.
and it was like, I just felt like I was getting in the way, and you really added value. So
well, thank you.
thank you. Do you have any questions for Lindsay? All right.
All right.
Thanks, Lindsay. Hey, what's the tea leaf?
What's
babe?
the tea? Okay, so we only have one cup of tea today because I got sucked into a Yellowstone binge last night. So forgive me if you've watched season 3, the finale. I still have PTSD from this last night. So anyway.
Now you're watching 1923.
No, so we were behind the curve on it, and then we, of course, found out Tim and Faith are going to be in one, and then who was the?
That's 1883. That's already done.
There's another, and then who was it? Harrison Ford.
So
Okay,
that's 1923. That's what's happening now.
so yeah, well, we're still in 2000 whatever this was in. I don't know. Anyway, it was intense. So if you're not watched, jump on that choo-choo train. Huh?
I don't feel like you're a real fan.
I'm bought in. Although it's a little unbelievable, but it's not vampires and witches, so it's something different. All right, so I don't know
this
if
is big
y'all
news.
heard about this, but I've never really understood this portion of Belmead, because as fancy as Belmead is, excuse me, that was the shittiest Kroger that was in this entire city. So I've never really understood where the money was going for that. So. Yeah, so I'm just glad that we're getting some redevelopment over there. So you can just continue on the slide.
So this is pretty big. And this is big news.
Big
for
news.
The west side of town.
Yeah.
And it has been. It's like, if you think about it, do you remember 15, 20 years ago what Green Hills looked like? You know where the Hill Center is now, and some of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
There was like an Ace Hardware. There was an HG Hill. There was a lot of asphalt.
Yeah.
I remember coming to Nashville, and my cousin lived here in Green Hills, and she's like, Green Hills is amazing. It's so beautiful. It's wonderful. And I got here, I'm like, it's a lot of concrete and
Yeah.
power lines.
Right.
And like mini strip mall thing that
Yeah.
looked like from the 60s.
But there's a Louis Vuitton store. So.
Wow. So anyway.
All right, so this
Oh,
is
there it is. A lot of
her in all her beauty as of right now. AJ Capital, who's doing a lot of the work in Wedgwood, Houston right now, really redeveloping 8th Avenue into something that I couldn't even imagine. They are have plans to transform the Belmead Plaza Shopping Center into a new mixed-use district. Just to point out, if you're not following or subscribed to Now Next Nashville, Robert Looper that's his website and his blog. He has an amazing tool where you can slide this bar right here across, and you will see what is now and then what is next. So it is kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
The plans include 4 residential towers along Richland Creek. One of them includes both residential and hotel use. The plan also includes a town center retail plaza with 1- and 2-story buildings around a central public space, as well as a new open space along Richland Creek. So it's completely changing the area. There will be 11, 12, and 14-story residential towers, a 15-story hotel, 120 max condos, 380 max rentals, and 120 max hotel rooms.
And the Kroger is still going to be, is it moving to the old Harris Theater site?
I believe so. It's
Belmead
moving.
Cinema?
I think is it across the street?
Across the street.
Or
Remember where the Harris Theater used to be with the cart escalator? The old Belmead Theater? That's what I heard. I can't remember.
I think that I didn't know where exactly, but
So are they, that intersection isn't congested at all yet?
no. No. Parking
Beyond-
underground.
Beyond parking, I mean, that intersection's gonna get even more fun. But when you hear about things like this, Zach, from a development perspective, and you hear announcements like this, how do you go about it? All of us want to know who's getting that listing, what's the product mix, who goes after that, how and why? Like, I mean, not why, but like, do you think that they've already selected an agent of record for that?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I think a lot of the times, but a lot of times by well, it really depends. Sometimes when things are announced, that's been in discussions and in planning for a long time. You know, where you talked about there's a max use of this many residential units. It's a max use of this many condos. It's a max use. So developers, I think our job is to help developers and really clients clarify what is the highest and best use of their property. How do we add value in that? And when you're working with a developer, it might be apartments, it might be condos, it might be something totally different. And I love being really upfront with people and saying, like, this is not a condo fake. You've got a really cool building, completely wrong location for what you're trying to do. You can do that. I mean, I asked one guy, I said, how much is riding on this if this deal went south for you? He said it would ruin me. I said, well, you better not do it.
Yeah. No.
About this
like a-
one specifically?
Not this one, no. I just dealt with somebody several years ago who was like super excited about building this building. And it was a cool building, and I think it was in a completely wrong area for at that time. And so, no, I think you can, you know, it's about relationships, right? So it's understand the product, understand something, get excited about it if you're excited about it, and if you have a connection to whoever might be doing this, then utilize it and make an introduction.
Or if you had a relationship with someone doing something like this or talking about this, and you didn't feel comfortable, I would strongly encourage you to connect with Zach or to people and not just either try to fumble your way through that and get beat by someone who has a lot of experience, because there is a ton of development experience within these walls.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to meet with the developer today in one of our areas
Yeah.
after this,
Excellent.
to go have lunch with them and just help guide that initial conversation. I'm more than happy to do that. I love that.
Yeah.
This stuff takes years. It's a long game.
How long did you work on Broad West before?
Oh, I mean, 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to keep digging. I mean, it was just a hole for
that's right.
till they stopped hitting water, I guess.
Figured something out of
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a big company tri-brand annual event at the
Yeah.
Omni Hotel Wednesday,
Tri-brand.
February 8th at 9:30 a.m.
Mimosas will be plenty of mimosas will
this
be
is really
had.
fun. We get a big group picture with hundreds and hundreds, 1,500 people. Shane Talent has some. If it snows, do you remember your snow story from years ago? Remember,
Oh, boy.
remember the text thread?
They cancel it.
There was a massive snowmageddon years ago, and
Shane
Shane
showed
didn't
up.
get it, and he was updating the whole office via text message saying, I'm waist deep now. I've made it to Demumbrian. I hope this thing doesn't get canceled.
Oops.
So it's good. So February 8th, so save the date for that. Also, if you need a coffee mug, we have got some new coffee mugs, as you can see, by lovely models. Modeling our brand new coffee mugs. So thanks to Jen.
They're much better.
for
Much
doing
better.
that. So we actually have got the updated brand on there. So, yeah, so coffee mugs, if you need those. So how's the market? I'm going to talk about this because we talked about this last week, and I had a lot of people ask questions about it. So just want to bring it up again. A lot of people right now are asking, how's the market? And so what's one thing we want to know before we just start rattling off?
What have you heard?
Yeah, what have you heard, right? Maybe they've heard it's great. Maybe they've read some article we haven't seen. Part of that's just conversation, right? And so asking them what part of the market they're interested in or curious about is helpful. But this is a big picture look. And so one thing that I try to help people understand is people say, oh, things are slowing down, right? And I say, yes, but it's really actually a good thing, in my opinion, because we were so hyperactive before. It was really a frustrating market for a lot of buyers and sellers and agents because they were, how many times did you have to write an offer on a house before you could get it accepted? So one hard thing is interest rates are a little bit higher, so it can be more expensive to buy a house right now. And you can actually have time to think about it, which makes everybody's lives better. It makes people ultimately make better decisions. So we have slowed down a little bit, but really we've normalized. And if you look at this is 2022. So this is through the third quarter of 2022. And this is federal data through a group called FHFA.gov. And the fourth quarter of 2021, the last 4 quarters are always up here. So this data comes out about 3 months late. So it just came out for the third quarter of 2022, and then around March we'll get the fourth quarter of 2022 to see how the year ended up. So it's a very lagging data, but it's helpful to look at in terms of trends. And I'll send this out again. It's on the back end and on the Google Drive as well. But I'll make sure it's on the Google Drive because this is a new one. So one thing to help people understand is buyers. What's the difference between a buyer who is clear versus confused? What does a clear buyer do? They can buy. They can make a decision, right? If somebody's confused or scared or uncertain, what do? They freeze. They hit the brakes. They think about it, right? That's the word that oftentimes we say clear buyers buy, confused buyers think about it. Mm-hmm. So confused might be scared, might be apprehensive, might be just not really clear. And so a lot of times a buyer's fear is, am I going to make a dumb decision and buy something that's going to lose value, right? Because nobody wants money going out of their pocket. And there's a lot of psychological studies that say people are way more afraid of losing $1 than they are of like making $5, right? And they are excited. Like the balance is out of whack. People are more geared toward a mindset of scarcity. So helping them have that mindset of abundance. One, understand this is a property where you're going to live for a long time. It's not just investment. It's not just money. It actually has an actual use, right? But there's only in the last 30 years, there have only been 4 years where Nashville's market depreciated. And that was 2008, 9, 10, and 11. All of those numbers, the depreciation totals, added up together, equal about 11%. All of that was regained in the next 18 months.
Mm-hmm. And there was an article that came out, Karen Baker sent it to us, that said Nashville has one of the safest housing markets in the entire country, as far as pricing and consistency.
So it helped people understand, like, assume that buyers have some fear, they're a little bit scared, and help them understand this data if they're data people. If not, just data is only good with a story, right? So there's a story, people want to know the why. And so if you look at the third quarter, it was basically flat. I think the fourth quarter is probably going to show data as going down a little bit. That's prices going depreciating a little bit. That's my guess. However, that will probably take us from 12% down to 8, 9, 10%, which is still almost double what the 30-year average is. So this is the same information, just looking at it in a little bit of a different way. But hopefully that's. Do you have any questions about that? What's up, Shane?
My question is, you're talking with a client, right, saying like, well, interest rates are up, we think pricing is still elevated, pricing is gonna come down. What's the most concise way to use that chart to show them appreciation, like stuck together with the conversation, like, hey, don't sit if we're all hearing like, we don't think pricing's coming down and rates are, you have to do 5.5 or 6, whatever it is, right? It's like, you're gonna wait and that same house is it's gonna continue to increase in price. Prices are gonna stabilize or go up. Plus, you're missing out on appreciation. Right?
So you're talking about somebody maybe who's renting a place?
Someone that's on the fence hasn't committed to buying. Like, well, we're ready to buy, but we think prices are still high.
Right.
Prices are going to go down.
So where are they now? Are they renting a place or they own their home? Yeah. So if they own their home, I think if they own their home locally, if prices come down, that's great. Prices are also going to come down for the house that you sell, right? So it's a 1-for-1 ratio. I mean, in a simple terms, if somebody's saying, "Hey, I want to wait for there to be a fire sale," okay, well, do you need to sell your house before you buy one? I don't know. Okay, well, that's a conversation. Go talk to Connie and Christian. But relatively speaking, you can't, unless you're buying investment property, you don't want to try to time the market with your personal residence, right? So I don't believe that prices are going to come down in any significant way. I think it's going to level out and flatten out, and I think that's healthy and good. And so you can wait 2 years to see if that happens, and you might have the same house price, relatively speaking, in 2 years. But if you have the same price in 2 years, why don't you just start now? You can refinance at rates lower, and you start paying that debt down sooner, especially if you're renting. Like, how much are you paying in rent? $2,500 a month. Okay, so you're spending $30,000 a year. So you want to wait 2 years for the market to come down. You think it's going to come down $60,000? Because you're just throwing all that away.
And I think, too, kind of reframing that to them to say prices aren't coming down, they're just not accelerating as rapidly. Because, like, if you look at this, 2013 is less than 2015, but so is 2017, but we're still on the stairs. So we're still going up. It's just not happening as fast as obviously it did in 21 and 22.
Yeah.
So, Virginia.
Okay, so if appreciation went up 25% in 2021, does that mean in 2022, you bought a house in 21, it went up another 12%?
So far, the first 3 quarters of 2022, yes.
Yeah.
So people who bought in 21 were paying.
Let's say they bought it December 31st of 21.
Have not lost value, even though homes are selling. Seems like homes are selling at about 7.95%.
Yeah, so the question was, if somebody bought at the end of 2021 and has their home lost value in 2022? According to the data, no. Right? Now this is lagging data, so it's 3 months behind. So we're not looking at up to right now, but it's big picture data that's pretty accurate based on thousands and thousands of home sales. So this is much more accurate than anecdotal evidence or a feeling, right? But we can pair those together and give an opinion.
Yeah.
And actually, going back to Shane's question, if you go back to the last chart and you showed them, well, okay, but over the last 30 years, like you were saying before, only 4 years, and those were remarkable 4 years.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the overall economy. They're constantly had an average of 6% appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what I would like. That's very seemingly concrete data.
Yeah. So practice talking about this with each other, with your peers. If you struggle with it, practice. Ask each other questions. See what you think. Thanks for the discussion. Christian, what you got? Connie, what you got? I got you next. Sure, so I got both.
That's a good crowd.
Mortgage rates
Yeah, a little better.
down from last week.
There's a 5 there, you guys.
mean-
Come on. Yay.
6.125. So they were what, 6.5
So,
last week?
yeah, 6.5 last week. So yeah, so we're getting a little bit of a drop. It's nice, and every little bit helps. And like with a point, you can get down into the 5s. So
And what is 1 point, everybody? 1% of what?
1%, yeah,
1% of the loan
the
value.
loan amount.
Right. The $400,000 loan, 1 point is $4,000. You drop your rate by, what is that? Almost half.
1/4 point.
Quarter point. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Anything? Who's got a buyer who's applied for a mortgage in the last 30 days? All right, a third of the room. Okay.
yeah, and then of course we still have our free refi too. So we'll take care of them over the next 3 years, as long as they use us and Carney. Then we'll do that free refi. So again, it's like y'all are saying, it's like Virginia was saying, there people are looking at what 97 to 95% on the list price. You know, it's a good time to buy. Don't let this rate scare you, and we can refi you later.
Yeah. I would say, I was talking to Wendy Monday this morning. She said, Vanderbilt, medical schools have a match. When is it? Every March, right? They have a match, and it's this whole, I won't even get into it, but it's a complicated thing. And you have to match with kind of your choices, and you put them in order and things like that. This is match period for buyers and ultimately sellers too. But this is match time. The next 3 or 4 months is match time for real estate agents with buyers. So you got to know this stuff right off the top of your head. Understand what rates are. What is a mortgage payment on a I don't know, what is it, like $600,000 house at this mortgage rate? How do you figure that out? Have those, try to create some of those calculations and look them up. Get a quick cheat sheet. Keep it in your pocket or your purse.
We
Keep a
have
picture of it on your
calculators
phone.
too. We've got a
You got
really
calculators?
nice mortgage calculator. If you guys need it, let us know. We can send that to you. It's just real handy on your phone. Did you get the slides that you're saying?
I guess I did not.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, so yeah, I've got a phone app, and you can text. Oh God, I don't have it.
Can you send the app out?
Just text me, and I'll just send it to you. I can forward it to you. But it's just right on your phone, and it gives you a real quick mortgage calculation for payment, and then it also calculates the mortgage insurance too, which is pretty accurate. So yeah, it's super handy to have.
All right, hang on, I'm gonna get the slides. Sorry about that. I didn't see the previous trip. What other questions while I'm doing this?
Brian, do you want to talk about THGA and apply the income limits on?
Yeah, actually, what I've got, we were gonna
Oh.
talk about was something similar to that. THGA, yeah. So, of course, the income limits are not the income limits, but the purchase price, conforming loan amounts have gone up, and so have, like the FHA, so it's like 726 now, 726,200. So if you're like THGA is a down payment assistance program to help buyers, first-time home buyers, giving them that down payment assistance. So helping them to purchase a home. We have actually a new program. That's what I was going to talk about. It's 100. Yeah, here we go. It's 100% purchase program, down payment assistance, similar to a THGA. But this kind of takes it to a different level. It's an FHA-based loan. One of our investors is offering this now, but it's taking like a THGA but expanding it a little bit. So they'll go down to a 600 credit score where THGA is 640. Also, they'll go up to 160% of the average median income. So the median income in like Davidson County is 95.6. So this will take it up to like 153,000 is the income to qualify for this program.
Okay.
Whereas THGA is about 109,000 is their max. So it really kind of brings it a little further. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer on this program. The they have a forgivable option for that second mortgage. The rate's a little bit higher on this one than it is on the THDA, but also I think a big thing is with THDA, they limit the loan amount to, or the purchase price to 375. So it doesn't buy you a whole lot of house. This will actually go up to the conforming limits. So you're looking at that 726. So it's a huge difference, and you can still get your buyer in with that 0 down.
Can you do 2-1?
What's that?
Can you do 2-1?
I don't know about that. It's a new program. I'll check into that. I'm not sure. He asked if we could do a 2-1 buy down. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll still do that free. Any loans that we're doing, we'll do that free refi for that 3 years. So yeah, if somebody buys this, gets into it on 100%, say a year later, the rates are lower, we can refi them into a conventional loan at that point, do like a 95% conventional. Hopefully there's a little equity there.
Much higher are the rates?
So like our rate today on the conventional is about 6 1/8. Well, let's just even compare it to THDA. THDA is about 6 1/4. This is about 6.75. So it's a little bit higher, but still not bad. Again, they're getting in with on 100%. So they have two options they have a repayable second and a forgivable second. If they do the forgivable second, it does increase the interest rate on the first. So it's probably more like 7 or 7 1/8. But then that, it's like a 10-year period on that second. So they have to put 3.5% down. That's what the second is. It's going to supplement that. Okay. So the second is that 3.5% down payment. So they can choose a forgivable option, and after 10 years, it just goes away. They don't owe it. But they're paying more on the first mortgage. So we'll just look at the numbers and see which is a better option for either.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Well, thanks, Connie.
welcome.
So important to know, I mean, that you all are always looking at the latest and greatest programs. So thanks for checking that out.
Oh
Hey,
my
have you ever
gosh.
heard of this?
Yes, and I went to the website and realized I was too old to figure this out. So I'm glad that you.
Who's tried Chat GPT?
It's like I don't understand any of this.
Has anyone tried this? Oh man,
It's
this was talked about kind of leading up to the holidays a lot. There's like you probably saw it got a ton of attention, and so it's basically an AI chat bot that will answer your questions. Think of it kind of like Wikipedia, but it does it in a very it does it in a pretty impressive way. And there was an article in Inman about it, and this guy basically started he asked a question, and it basically gave him a whole intro paragraph to the article, and then he started asking questions. And I'll send out the article, but this was one. He said he opened it up. Said, "What can real estate agents do to thrive in a financial downturn?" So this computer responded, and it basically aggregates data from the internet and from various platforms and who knows where. But it says there are several strategies that real estate agents can use to thrive during a financial downturn. Diversify your business. Consider expanding your services or offering new products to help increase your income streams. Stay up to date on market trends. Keep track of changes in the real estate market and adjust your business strategies accordingly. Build strong relationships with clients. Focus on providing excellent customer service to help foster long-term relationship with clients. Utilize technology. Use tools and platforms to streamline your work and stay connected with clients, even if you can't meet in person. Stay positive and adaptable. Maintain a positive attitude and be open to trying new approaches or adjusting your business model as needed. It's also important to stay organized and manage your finances carefully during a financial downturn. This may involve cutting costs where possible, finding ways to increase efficiency, and be strategic about where you invest your resources. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for help or seek guidance from industry experts if you need it.
I'm scared.
So now what?
That was the computer that came up with that. Do we not say a lot of the same stuff?
Yeah, is this Ninja? I think this.
So I think this guy's listening to us, but anyway, if you want to play with it, sometimes it works well. Sometimes it's like there are too many people trying it and it crashes and it won't work. There's not an app. It's just chat.openai.com, and it makes you verify.
I think Google is actually concerned about this. I read some article because I was like, I have to figure what is the purpose of this, and it said that Google was actually worried that this could threaten their business model, and I'm sure something well above my pay grade. But
yeah, I mean, there's questions about like can a college student write a term paper with this thing?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it answers the same things. It does a lot of lists. I have noticed that. It'll do like, here are the ways that we did this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. But just play with it. It's kind of fun. something to, I don't know, what I haven't tried to figure out is there a way that you could try to use this to get inspired by coming up with language for a property listing?
Oh.
I think it has so much to do with a question, right? So, how would you describe, maybe you just ask it, how would you describe a beautiful in-town property, question mark? See what it says.
How would you find one word?
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, so this monthly theme for January, staying on track. We keep talking about this. Have y'all seen some of the stuff around the office that you can pick up? If not, check it out. There's a picture of it right here. These are in all the offices. There's printouts. There is a copy of the, you can order the Ninja Planner, which is right here, which is great. Who uses this? Who's got that? Or who uses a planner at least? A planner. This is a really good one. If you don't use this, please use a planner of some sort. Paper's good, I think, still. There's Monday morning agenda. I sent this out again yesterday. If you don't if you don't fill this out, at least read through it, because it does inspire a lot of good topics. Like, Lee, last week, did you run your business like a business? How did you and how did you not?
Yeah, I printed this yesterday. I haven't filled it out yet. But yeah, I kind of read through it and was like, wow, way to really reset and think. We get so busy doing all the things, and we see a squirrel or a shiny object, and we're over here, or we want to talk about Yellowstone or whatever. And I was reading this, and I was like, okay, this is like what we need every morning, like a business, have a meeting with yourself and say, like, what did I do last week? Sometimes you may not be able to figure out what you did all week. You were busy, but you moved.
Yeah, busy. I mean, I've said this before. Busy is one of my pet peeve words, because what does it really mean? Like, were you productive?
Right.
Did you accomplish what you hoped to accomplish? Did you spend genuine time with people? Was it valuable? Or did you just move?
Yeah.
Like, literally just move sideways around and actually not really move forward in the direction you wanted to go.
For sure.
So how can I improve this week? My ahas for this week. Real estate reviews. Who did I do that last week? Who can I do this week? How were my lunches last week? Did you have any lunches with anybody?
I think I maybe had lunch a couple times last week.
So yeah. But
Just
then when you
period.
think about that, and you can put that down and be like, okay, where did I eat the other 3 days? Well, I was racing around, I forgot to eat.
Yeah.
You should be eating lunch every day, so try doing that with somebody if you want. Who's scheduled for lunch this week? Did I make any forward contacts last week? How many new contacts did I add to my database? Did I even look at my database last week? Did I write at least 10 personal notes? So these are all really valuable things to just kind of reset your mind. And I'm going to be sending this out every Monday as a reminder for the next little while. So
It keeps going. Yeah.
if you want to order a Ninja Planner, we're ordering a whole bulk order of them, so just to save you money on shipping. So you can go to parksathome.com/formstack. That link up there, I'll send that out again. And then you can order by January 31st. But this is just what it looks like. You've got all of your checkboxes for gratitudes, positive readings, any affirmations. Did I look at my hot list today? Did I look at my won list? This is kind of a mini version of what that Monday morning agenda is. Did I do my real estate reviews? Were they in person or mailed? Who were they for? What's my schedule look like? Did I write personal notes? What are my action items today? What are my action items for the week? I like to fill this out first and then kind of pull those, make sure I have all my big stuff in there first, and then fill up, pull from there to figure out when I'm going to do each of those things.
And the 8 action items is intentional on a daily basis, because some people like to just jot down a list and you only have 8 spots. So
Yeah.
whatever you really want to accomplish that day, it's intentional that it's not just a laundry list of to-do items.
Exactly. So then you got a calendar there. So notice one of the things on here, every day, personal notes, 2 personal notes. I wanted to share this. Rob sent this out, and I thought this was pretty amazing. We talk about notes being frame-worthy. He said, I got out of the habit of writing notes after 40X, and I decided I'm going to pick it up again. And he said, I sent somebody one, and I got this text message in response. I think this was pretty amazing. He said, Rob, I want to let you know the letter I received today left me for a loss of words. Just when you think the only person in the world who thinks of you is another person you crossed out, you will never know how much your words meant to me. I love you all so very much. I don't think I've cried happy tears like that in years. Thank you, Rob. I love you, and I love seeing you and your sweet and beautiful family. You should be so proud. Like,
Tinder.
He left an imprint on someone's life,
For sure.
Melanie. So, well done.
There he is. There he is, everybody.
I meant to ask you if I could talk about it in the sales meeting, but it's pretty impressive.
You should have just put out Zach over top Raw.
So
Wow.
say that again. That was the
December with the holidays, you know, you get off track. It was just busy and crazy. And when I sat down, that was the first note that I wrote to get back on. So I got that. Well,
What did you say?
you made an impact.
you know, I had to sit there and think about it. This person had been sick and gotten pneumonia, so I was for him when you're getting well, you know, thinking about him, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't know, yeah, it was a good reminder for me, so I sent it before the next year. So keep right
Love
on.
that.
Wow.
Makes a difference.
I love seeing things like that. That made me super proud. So, good work. So, frame-worthy notes. It makes a
For
big
sure.
difference, and we can get out of the habit. So, the nice thing about that Ninja Planner is it does remind you every day when you look at it to order that. So, if you need to order that, if you want to go to the link, you can highlight that. There's also signs around here that are scattered about the office. You can also pick up one of these. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these things do a lot of the same things. They just have them in different formats. So find the one that works for you. This is a fun little one. Kind of gamify things. Write out your affirmations. You get 10 points. 2-person note today. You get 10 points. Attend a sales meeting. Congratulations. You got 5 points today. What was your takeaway? A training session. Learn about contracts in a few minutes after this. Review and update your hot list and warm list. Call, don't email all sellers and buyers that are under contract. So you get the idea. What efforts can we consistently do to make them habits and turn them into success? It's not that hard. These are the ones. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about the Ninja Perfect Week. So this is always an easier said than done thing. But the idea is being on purpose and being intentional and not just moving and staying busy to be busy, but to be intentional so that you can get the most bang for your buck each week. And you can have extra time. So there's copies of this laying around as well, but showing up 8:30, exercise at 7. Lee's doing that every single morning now, or at least 3 days a week. And
Oh boy.
not on Mondays though, right, Lee?
No Mondays.
That's right. So show up and write your affirmations. Write 2-person notes at 9 o'clock. Gather data for 2 real estate reviews. Set up an appointment to present each. Call all clients under contract. That time slot could be prep for an open house. Send a client connect item for this week. So if you're sending a gift, you're doing some sort of like a 8x8 campaign. Contact each seller, provide feedback, update on neighborhood listings, understanding the market. It gives you time just to kind of work on your business right here.
What if my client calls me on Wednesday at 10 o'clock and says I want to see a house at 10:15?
Then you make time to go do it. You just move that. You move it later. What do you do if you have an appointment that overlaps with something else? You just skip it. Move it. That's right. Move it. If you actually slide it down on your calendar, move it. Take up. But this basically leaves 26 hours left in the week to do whatever it is that you want to do.
If your client calls you and wants to discuss the inspection report, that's not movable. Like, don't take
Right.
your income producing activities, which is prospecting,
Bingo.
to do something that's working on an existing contract, unless it's timely, in my recommendation.
Absolutely.
It was the showing the house that could honestly generate. But I think often we get derailed by things that are not urgent, and yet because it's client involved, we make it that. And so they'll respect you more if you set an appointment, and when you send it to them, preempt that with, I'd like to schedule an appointment with you to review this. Schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Not just pop, take a call, or they text you at 8 at night. As soon as you respond, you have given them permission that that is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like your schedule, be mindful that you're running it. And you're giving people permission of how and when to contact you.
That's good.
And really think about that. Even though it's like, I'm gonna forget this tomorrow, it is more effective for you to put that as a task or reminder. You can even now change your text to unread, if that will help remind you. The next day, you're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Unread text. Not have to like scroll down and look for that blue dot.
That's in iOS 16, so you can change your text to unread even after you've read it. So I just really try to encourage you, and I struggle with this too, but that
Same.
keep a schedule, put it on your voicemail, put it on your email signature if you want, and before you know it, they recognize, like, you don't just pop in and talk to your CPA or your attorney. What kind of realtor are you?
Mhm.
There you go. So take a look at this. This is just an example. Obviously, you don't have to follow this exactly, but it works well, and it gives you some good inspiration of how do you maximize what you do so you've got this extra free time to fill in the gaps. It doesn't mean you're just like goofing off around here, but this is all that other stuff that comes at you is what happens in the white, right? But if you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to do show houses, all the things that fill up. So check that out. Our monthly themes next week next month we're going to be database building. So we're going to keep talking about staying on track this month, and that's all we got for today. So after this, contracts.
Contracts, we don't have a ton of changes, thankfully, this year, but we do have some that we want to go over. Mainly the occupancy agreement has been changed just in time for us not to use it. But please stick around because there were a lot of changes for that.
All right, good work, y'all. Thank you. Stick around.